Okay, almost live. Okay, we're live.
Hey, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today. It has a title of Social Media Strategies. Get the attention of your market. Okay. Today's webinar is going to be a little bit different, I think, from maybe some other webinars that you've attended, because our focus today is to raise the narrative. Okay. Raise the narrative in the sense that we're going to be talking about things that may not seem that they're connected to social media, but they're very connected to social media. And one of them is emergencies. I think that the present situation has made all of us realize just how vulnerable any business can be. I had a business also when there was the crash in 2008. And even though I'm not I don't have a crystal ball, I can tell you that there will be another emergency. I can't tell you what it's going to be. And so the focus of the webinar today is to how to use social media as a cushion when you're going through a difficult time, and how to use it to get in front of the clients that you want to be in front of. And we're going to talk about the why. Katya, would you like to talk about the why? Why social media?
Well, I wanted to introduce myself, first of all.
Sure.
My name is Katya Hansel. Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us tonight. I am a business coach. I am actually a motivational trainer and an entrepreneur. My companies have 12 websites. We do a lot of YouTube videos, so we're very present on YouTube. We actually have Instagram accounts, many of them, and we do get in front of our clients, and our clients find us. So that's actually why I'm here today, and I would like to help you understand how very important the social media channels are today. Together with Damien O'Farrell. Maybe Damien, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
Yes, I did. I jumped a step in my enthusiasm. Okay. I'm Damien O'Farrell. I'm a global mobility specialist, but I'm also an expat coach. And a lot of my coaching revolves around helping people to build successful businesses. I've built 3 successful businesses myself. I'm extremely active on LinkedIn, and I'm extremely active on Facebook in a group that I have with over 12,000 members, because that's where my audience is. And we'll be talking about that throughout this particular webinar.
Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead. Do you want to start with the why? Why don't you start with the why, and then
Sure. I think, the why is, a lot of people say to me, why social media? And I think the answer to that is, why not social media? I mean, why would you not even think of being on social media at this point? And I think the reason why a lot of people don't get involved with social media is because they put their fear in front of them, and this blocks them. Okay. They also get overwhelmed. And that's why we need people like you, Katya, that can step in and help them with social media management. Okay. Because I think this is one of the big points, is that entrepreneurs, business owners, I don't think their goal in life is to become a social media marketing manager. Okay. And that's what it feels like very often, because they're taking care of so many platforms that they're not actually taking care of their business. Okay. So the why is, you need to find your audience. And that is essentially the why. You need to be on social media if you are serious today about taking your business to the next level. It can't be why not anymore. It has to be, I need to be on social media, and I don't need to be told anymore why I need to do it, because it's absolutely essential.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't agree more. I mean, social media, we're actually talking about video making, YouTube, we're talking about Instagram, we're talking about LinkedIn, we're talking about Also Twitter, perhaps, you know, I mean, we're talking about a lot of different channels here. We're not talking about just one platform, correct? And one reason why everyone should actually be there, professionals, small businesses, medium-sized businesses, you know, whatever product or service you are offering, it is essential to be on social media today, especially Facebook and so on. Why? For branding purposes as well. You know, branding is so important to get your product or service out there, and not only out there, but to create a real brand for yourself, a brand awareness that you exist, and to also to show your clients why you're different and why they should actually hire you, or why they should choose your product over an array of thousands of other products that are out there.
And why they should stop on you when they're scrolling down the feed, okay? Mm-hmm. And, you know, this is where I'd like to kind of bring in one thing, because a lot of people will say to me, but, you know, I'm doing stuff on social media, but it's not getting a lot of traction, okay? And I think the answer to that is very simple. It's either, and I'm going to be a bit provocative, your content is not very good, okay? It doesn't really engage people, or you haven't been doing it long enough, okay? The fact of the matter is the real estate left on social media at this point is limited, okay? Mm-hmm. So this is why a lot of social media platforms want you to pay to play, okay? So that they guarantee you a certain visibility. Though I think you can get still organic growth, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But I think one of the things that's very important is you have to be patient, okay? Mm-hmm. Is social media is an investment. If you put a post today, you're not going to get 1,000 reactions, or you might if it's incredibly engaging. And I think that's another thing that people need to be aware of. It's not the number of followers that you have, it's the quality of the followers, okay? I know somebody who has a very big Facebook group, but there's not much filtering going on when it comes to who enters the group. So a lot of the time the group is filled with people offering loans, voodoo doctors, you know, offering to take a curse off you and whatever. So it really comes down to quality and patience. And I know that
sorry to interrupt, Damien, real quick. You actually keep saying something to me, you know, as we've been talking, and the number one importance is actually to find your audience, you always say. And I love that. And it's so true, no? So can you tell us more about that?
Yeah, I have basically 5 hows to do social media well, but they're also tied into building a business, okay? And the number one is, who is your audience, okay? I mean, if you say, well, my audience are men, what men? What age group? What ethnicity? What interests do they have? And so you have to get very granular about who is your client, because if you're talking to everybody, you're not talking to anybody. Okay, the message gets lost. Okay, so you really have to ask yourself, who do I want to reach? Okay, and it might not be as obvious as you think it is. A lot of people, when I ask them this question and we go through the questionnaire, it takes them a while to come up with who is their ideal client.
That is the most important thing. But what about, I mean, if you have one target and you've found out what that target is, then the next step is to find out what social media would work for that clientele, right? So, I mean, if you have a very young clientele, it's obvious that they would need to go on TikTok, you were saying, or on the other young one, what is it called?
Instagram also for younger
Well,
people.
Instagram as well, but the other one where you take a lot of pictures and they disappear after a while. It's too young for my audience, so I keep forgetting what it's called.
Yeah.
In any case, no, go ahead.
Yeah, once you've defined who is the audience, then the next step, the next logical step is what platforms are they on? Okay. And that's where you need to get active because, I mean, if you take Twitter, for example, Twitter is a great platform if you want to build a career as a provocateur. Okay. It also allows you to interact with people that you normally couldn't interact with, okay? Because celebrities, politicians, they post tweets and you can respond, okay? And as long as you're not responding in an offensive manner, you're not going to get blocked, okay? And so each platform serves its purpose, okay? And once you've decided who the client is, then you need to get onto that platform. So if you're an interior designer, for example, and you want to reach people that are extremely interested in lifestyle, furnishings, and things like that, you really need to develop a strong presence on Pinterest. Okay? Because a lot of people, when they're looking for tips about how to furnish their house or preparing food, they go to Pinterest. So you would need to be there. Okay? If you want to reach a corporate audience, then you need to be very present on LinkedIn, which is, by the way, the most underused of all the platforms. Okay? LinkedIn is where Facebook was maybe 10 years ago. So it allows you to still do a lot of things for free and you get maximum results.
And that's fantastic.
Then another big favorite of mine is finding a niche. Okay. Finding a market that nobody is really tapping into. Okay. And then get even more granular as to where you can find those people. Okay. Because the problem is that if you're marketing to a very wide audience, then you're probably in a very commoditized business. Okay. I mean, it's like, I always say, this is how I describe it. I say that if people are snapping at my feet, it's because I'm not moving fast enough. Okay. Because, I mean, if you think about it mentally, if a dog is able to come and bite you, it's because you're not moving fast enough. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if your competitors are biting at your heels, it's because you are not moving fast enough. Okay. And I think that's a very important point.
Yeah. I agree. I actually created, together with my team, I created some slides. I would like to run those by everyone very quickly, and maybe then we can move forward, if that's okay with you. So, hold on. Okay. Hold on. It doesn't work. Okay. Be patient. Here we go. Okay, here we go. So, but it's not.
It'll take a while.
Okay. It'll take a while. Sorry about this. Here we go. No, non si vede. Okay. Okay. So the reason why I would like to show you some slides is to just tell you about the entire population. You know, we have almost 8 billion people in the world. Here we go. And 5 billion people use mobile phones. This is quite impressive, a quite impressive number. And 4.5 billion of those are internet users. All these people are online pretty much all the time, because especially during COVID, people are online an average of 3.5 hours these days. And then we have active social media users, 3.8 billion. Then look at this right here, this next graph. Let's start from the bottom. This is actually something, the figures are from 2018, but look at how many Facebook users there were, and now it's increased even more during COVID. Then we have YouTube, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, WeChat, and Instagram. So Facebook is so super important, and so is YouTube videos. People are online constantly. And this is the third and last slide that I would like to run by you, and that is watch online videos. 90% of the people watch online videos, and they watch vlogs. So you have bloggers who are video bloggers, and that's what vlogging is. They listen to music streaming services, listen to online radio stations, and they listen to podcasts, which is also massive, basically. So, all right, now let's go back. Here we go. Damien, I give the word to you. But I thought these numbers were quite impressive to understand how important social media is for all of us, not only to just waste our time all day long, but to monetize and to be on there personally with our products, our services, and our brand, you know?
Well, I mean, that's the why. You can't deny the numbers, okay? The thing is, though, that you can have 100,000 followers, but you're not monetizing anything, okay? And you can have 500 followers, but if they're very loyal to you and to your brand, you could be monetizing much more than the person with all these followers. And that's why you have to be very careful about what is my message, what's the message, okay? And the return on investment, okay? I talk a lot about that in my own coaching, is that another thing that surprises me about a lot of business people is that many don't know what their margins are. They don't really know what their profit is. Okay, they know they have a turnover, but they don't know how much of that turnover is actual profit. Okay, so when you want to put your energy into social media that gives a return. Okay, I mean, if you are on social media from the morning to the night as a business person and there's no return, something is not working. Okay. So it goes back to what I was talking about. You're either targeting the wrong people, you're on the wrong platforms, or you are in a crowded swimming pool with too many so-called competitors. Okay? And that brings me to my last how, and that is, if what you're doing right now is working, then my advice to you regarding social media is put your foot on the gas, okay? Like you have never done in your life, okay? Hire somebody. Don't be cheap, okay? You know, one of the things that blocks a lot of people is fear, okay? They're afraid to invest money, okay? But as I told you, unless you're building a career as a social media marketing manager, you are a business person, which means you need to be with your clients and you need to have somebody taking care of your social media that's planned out. And I know we talked about that you offer social media marketing services, Katya. And is that how you work with the clients? I mean, do you work in advance with a calendar regarding the content? How do you work that?
We have a marketing strategy for each one of the channels, for Instagram, for YouTube, for Facebook, and so on. So yes, absolutely. You need a strategy because you need to know where you're going.
Yeah, you
okay?
can't.
And be very constant. There needs to be continuity, because if you do a post here and a post there, it's just not working. So you need to do it, at least every 3 days, twice a week or whatever. You need to put up posts, and most importantly, put up videos more than just random pictures and so on, because videos work more and more and more.
Yeah, they get a lot more engagement. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's where you may have to pivot. Okay, because as I said, if what you're doing is working in terms of business, in terms of social media, you just need to turn up the gas. Okay. But if what you're doing is not working regarding business and social media, you've got to pivot. Okay. I mean, if you are um, active on any of the social media platforms, but the interaction is very low, you have to ask yourself, why am I not getting any interest in what I'm putting up? Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you agree with me, but as I said, I think it's for two reasons. I think either the content is very bland and uninteresting, or you're not giving it enough time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah.
there are no overnight successes. Okay. I mean, people will look at a very successful person and they say, oh, he or she, they're so successful. But if you go and you look at the story of that person, they put in a lot of work. I mean, if you look at the social media queens, and the social media queens would be, without a doubt, the Kardashian sisters. Okay. Now, whether you like them or you don't like them, that's not important. What's important is these ladies are working social media. Okay. They are marketing geniuses. Okay. They put out engaging content constantly, and it they're they monetize it. Okay. So so they're ticking all the boxes. And you
Mm-hmm.
have to think like that. I mean, if you have a restaurant and you want to get people into your restaurant, you've got to figure out, which platform do I need to be on? A
What do you
lawyer.
what do you suggest to someone who's really new at this? Okay, I'm new. I mean, I'm not new, but I'm saying, if I were new, what would be the suggestions you would give me, like the top 3 or top 5 suggestions? What can someone do who's new at this? They found their target, let's say, and what is next? What are the top most important things?
What is next is, I would concentrate on one platform,
Mm-hmm.
maybe two. Okay.
Important.
And I wouldn't get overwhelmed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to remember that being a business person doesn't necessarily mean that you are good at doing social media. Okay. Um, I know a person personally who's very smart. I mean, really smart. But when he does video on social media, I mean, he's like a sleeping pill. I mean, he just, I mean, it's just because he doesn't have what it takes to really do video himself. Okay. And this is where I'm saying, bring in some assistance. Okay. I mean,
Outsource.
outsource. I mean, we all have to recognize what we're good at and what we're not that good at. Okay. And if, and you have to, for that person who's new, is concentrate on a maximum of 2 platforms and sit
Mm-hmm.
down and work out at least a 30 to a 60-day calendar planned out with content. Okay. And you can make each day, connected to something, you know. So if you have a
Mm-hmm.
restaurant, you can have, Food Friday or something, and you put a recipe or whatever. But I think the very interesting thing about social media, and I think we need to talk about this, is that I know a lawyer, she's in America, and she has got such an engaging social media presence on Instagram. Okay. And I mean, if you think about a lawyer, you go, oh, this is going to be very boring. Okay. But she tells real stories. Okay. She talks about
So she does videos.
she doesn't always necessarily do video, but she does real stories. Okay.
Mhm.
So she talks about a client whose dream was to live and work legally in the United States. And she walks you through their story, and you are so engaged in that person's story that when you see her um, post in your feed, you want to stop because she's personalized what could be a very dry topic. Okay. And, you know, I think the way she's done it is just amazing. And I think the lesson to be learned from that is that no topic cannot be made engaging.
Mhm. Yeah, I can't agree more. Actually, I totally think so, that you can make anything engaging if you use the right tools and if you have a strategy and you know where you're going with it. You know, it
And
does help to be a great storyteller.
but you can get help with that. I mean,
Hmm.
um, you know, I don't know how to paint, so I wouldn't paint my house. Okay. So I hire somebody to do that for me. Okay. And
Hmm.
so that's why you have to be free to build your business so you have funds so you can outsource certain things. Okay. Um, any task, that's in the 10 to $15 euro per hour range is something that you should be outsourcing to somebody else. Okay. So that you can concentrate on building your business. Okay. I mean, and then some people by nature are really outgoing and they're able to do fantastic videos. But if you're not able to do some fantastic videos, maybe you can find people that can do it. They can do it through animation. I mean, there are so many ideas, but I think the thing that's important is you start. Okay.
Absolutely. I think, a great thing is also to find clients or to have clients find you, to contact bloggers, for instance, in your niche, in your market. So you find bloggers that will talk about you, and you may give them something for free, or give them discounts when they come and join you, and
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I
and,
think
t-
a
and
lot of different
tagging
ways.
and tagging people. I mean, if you have read the book of a person uh, who has a certain following and you enjoy their book, you can mention that in a post and you can tag them. And very
Hmm.
often people will repost that. Okay. Which means that their followers begin to see you. Okay. And, you know, particularly a platform like Instagram, which is very hashtag oriented. Um, you need to make a list of the top 10 hashtags that apply to your business, and you need to follow them. And then on the accounts that use those hashtags, go in and start commenting. Okay. And people will start to notice you, and maybe then they'll start following you. I mean, it is an investment. Um, I mean, it really is. Uh, Years ago, I saw a great tagline, and it said, "Excuses don't make a great body, exercise does." Okay. And I thought, wow, this is so true. Okay. And, and it's the same with social media. We can't say, oh, I'm going to start tomorrow. Um, oh, I've got to watch Game of Thrones, or you've got to start. I mean, and if you've got the time to spend 6 hours binge watching Netflix, then you've got 6 hours to build your following on social media. So, do we want to ask if anybody has any questions at this point?
Yeah, sure. Please type them into the chat if you have any questions. Actually, at this point, I would like to show you else that we have researched with my team, and it's just really mind-boggling, actually. So let's see. Okay, hold on one sec. It's actually about video, and we put video pretty much everywhere. So you can put your videos on Instagram, you can put them on YouTube, of course, you can actually put them on Facebook, you can put them all over the place. So video is here to stay. So says even Zuckerberg from Facebook, the owner of Facebook. He says it'll all be video from now on. From 2021, one of his executives actually says just that. So look at this, 81% of businesses use video as a marketing tool, up from 63 over in 2019. 78% of people watch online videos every single week. 55% view online videos every single day. A Facebook executive predicted, there you go, that their platform will be all video and no text by 2021. Hey guys, that's coming up so soon. YouTube is the second most popular website after Google, according to Alexa. Users view more than 1 billion hours of video each day on YouTube. 59% of executives say that they would rather watch a video than read text. That's big. Viewers retain 95% of a message when they watch it in a video compared to 10% when reading it in a text. And 72% of customers would rather learn about a product or service by way of video. And just real quick, Damien, I apologize.
No problem.
10 powerful reasons to use video marketing. So videos attach 300% more traffic and help to nurture leads. A website is 53 times more likely to reach the front page of Google if it includes video. Including a video on your landing page can boost your conversion rate by up to 80%. Nearly 50% of the internet users look for video related to a product or service before visiting a store. Video increases organic search traffic on a website by 157%. 85% of consumers want to see more video content from brands. Adding video to your emails can increase click rates by 300%. 50% of viewers aged 18 to 34 said they would stop what they're doing to watch a video from their favorite creator. That's scary. 64% of consumers will make a purchase after watching branded videos on social platforms. And last but not least, video is expected to make up 82% of internet traffic by 2021. So what do you think about that?
Oh, absolutely. Video is like you're inviting someone into your living room. Okay. It's it's very personal. Okay. Mm-hmm. Much more than the written word. Okay. Yeah. A lot of people don't feel comfortable about going on video, and so that's why they don't do it. Magdalena has just asked, how long should the video be?
Oh, I can answer that. No, you go ahead and answer.
No. That's a great question. Unfortunately, I think most people today don't have a long concentration span. Okay. And I think I think that's why Instagram really only allows you about 60 seconds, and then you have to go to IGTV to watch the rest of the video. So I think videos should be short and sweet. Otherwise, I think people just
Can I answer Magdalena's question?
sure.
Because I researched a lot, obviously. So 30 seconds is when people turn off, they switch off, they leave. Okay, so videos should actually not be longer than 30, 40 seconds max, unless it's like a story that's being told or whatever, you know. And it's so interesting, like the one of your lawyer or of the lawyer that you know that you were talking about, where she tells stories, and it's just so catchy and interesting that you don't want to leave. Then it can probably be longer.
Well, I mean, she actually has managed to do something very unique in that she's doing a lot of this through the written word rather than video. Okay, but
Oh,
what sh-
wow.
but what she has done is she has tapped into uh, that part of people that are interested in other people. Okay, I
Mhm.
mean, it's one of the things about social media that sometimes surprises me because I will look at an account on Instagram that has a lot of followers and I say to myself, but this person doesn't really do a lot. Okay, what's that interesting? But, other people seem to find it interesting. So that's all that matters. But all of
Uh-huh.
that has to be leading to conversion. Okay.
Mhm.
Social media should not be about vanity. Okay. Because as I said, you can have 100,000 followers, but you do not make any money whatsoever. There's no conversion. Okay. So, I mean, if you're on social media just to have fun, that's fine. But if you're using social media as a business owner, the absolute focus has to be on conversion. Okay. How many people convert to paying clients? Okay.
Mhm.
And if nobody is converting to a paid client, there's something wrong. Part
Mhm.
of it could be also is that you are like a mother hen and you're kind of feeding all the little ones. Okay. And people have gotten used to a lot of free information. Okay. So
Mhm.
it's okay in your social media to have
Mhm.
offers and to pitch your services. Now,
Mhm.
of course, obviously, every post cannot be buy today and you get 50% off. Okay. No, that's not gonna work. But if you just keep putting out content, good content, but no one buys, then you're going to shut down very quickly.
Mhm. And you need to change strategy, of course. No? So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Excuse me. And
Salud.
and absolutely, it has to be about conversion. And
Mhm.
so um, that's one of the reasons why we have put together for the audience a series of master classes that are coming up. Okay. And because social media is so vast, each masterclass is going to be dealing with one specific platform. The first masterclass that we have coming up is really incredible. It's Instagram on fire, okay? And it's about how to really burn on Instagram with your account so that you get conversions, okay? Now, what I love about this particular masterclass that will be presented by Claudia Palmira, who's a branding expert and she's also very knowledgeable about Instagram, is that it's not like an old car losing pieces along the road. Okay. It's very structured. Okay. Because the problem with a lot of courses is that the information is out of sequence. Some of the information is missing. Um, and what I love about this masterclass that Claudia has put together is that it's very procedural. Okay. It takes you from the A to the Z in I call it Instagram on a lollipop. Okay, it's easy to digest, it's easy to follow, and you come out at the end and you feel like, wow, I got something out of this. Okay, and it's normally 97 euros. It's selling at 47, and I mean it's a major investment. With 47 euros, you get the A to Z of Instagram, leaving you with no doubt. Okay. I mean, I was just looking at the breakdown again today, and it's about creating that engaging bio that seems to escape so many people on Instagram. Determining your look. What kind of a look are you going for on Instagram? Creating posts, creating content, hashtags, because Instagram is like the king of hashtags. It allows you to use up to 30, I think, in posts, and up to about 10, I think, in stories. And other platforms like Facebook, they will actually penalize you if you use too many hashtags. But hashtags on Instagram is kosher. Interaction with others, and how to really use Instagram stories to create calls to action that convert to paying clients. Okay. And if any of you participating in tonight's webinar would like more information on this, Katia is going to put into the comments the email address where you can write for information on this masterclass that will be coming up shortly.
Okay. Yes, we need to. It's gonna be a minute. Hold on one sec. I need a techie here to actually pull this up. Okay. So, does anyone have questions? Do you have any specific questions for us that we can resolve right here? Yes, please. Okay, Magdalena, tell us. If anyone has any questions right now, please tell us so we can we may be able to help solve your issue and maybe other people's as well, you know, because I'm sure that a lot of people have the same questions. So,
as I said, we'll be starting with this phenomenal masterclass on Instagram, but that's just here's the information on screen. Okay.
oh yeah.
So
Okay.
if you would like more information or to reserve your place for this masterclass Instagram on fire, please send an email to info@auracoachingacademy.com or go directly to the website auracoachingacademy.com, and Katia and her team will get that information to you very quickly.
Okay. Yes. If we already have your email address, then you don't need to send any information in, because then you will receive the recording tomorrow and you will actually receive all the information necessary. If you're watching the webinar live, then please send us an email so we have your email address and we can send you the information, okay?
And it'll be a series of should one have more and different accounts on social media? If I'm interpreting your question correctly, if you are on Instagram, you should have a separate account that's your business account from your personal account, if I'm interpreting your question correctly. And the same would go for Facebook. If you have a business on Facebook, you need to have a business page, which is separate from your personal account.
Okay, thank you, Damien. And if you have any other questions, type them in. We'll answer them afterwards. We'll respond to you via email, okay? Okay.
And what I would just like to finish with is really the power of social media and what it allows you to do. Okay? And we have this wonderful masterclass coming up on Instagram. But if you just take a platform like LinkedIn, it allows you to publish long form content. Okay. So you can write articles and you can publish them on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn is very much like Facebook 10 years ago. And so it pushes out the content a lot more than some other platforms. Facebook allows you to create Facebook groups and pop-up groups. You might want to create a pop-up group for a particular course that you have going for maybe just a month. And all of the platforms really allow you to do so many things that 20 years ago was just, impossible. I mean, I'm old enough to remember when I had a newsletter that I had to print, put it in an envelope, put a stamp on the envelope, and send the newsletter. I mean,
Jurassic Park.
You said it.
Yeah.
Okay,
But
Magdalena.
Very interesting what you just said, Damien. That's very, very interesting. But it's so true. So there's so many possibilities, and the average person knows like 2% of what is possible on the social media channels. And that's exactly why it is absolutely necessary to have someone professional show you what to do and how to do it. So don't miss it.
Absolutely.
We're here.
Last question. Magdalena is asking, how do you measure the conversion from your followers? You measure it through sales, essentially. Okay. There's the old Pareto Principle, which is basically that 20% of your efforts, 20% of your clients give you 80% of the results. Okay. If you are extremely active on social media on one platform or several platforms, but there's no conversion from the followers, something is not working. Okay. If you have, let's say, 1,000 followers on Instagram, and each month, you have 3 or 4 conversions, you could probably say you're doing pretty well. I mean, that's very case specific, because we would have to look at what type of business you have, how many followers you have, because it depends on the product and the service. But exactly. I mean, essentially the way that we measure the success of a business is its turnover and what are its margins. Okay. And so if at the end of the month, if you're putting in let's say if you're working on social media, or somebody is working on your social media 3 to 4 hours a day, and at the end of the month, there's very little cash, there's something wrong with the strategy, and you need to look at it.
Can't agree more. Well, thank you so very much, everybody, for having followed us tonight and for being here. Thank you so much, Damien.
Thank you.
Your time. And it was great to see you. And thanks. We even have someone from Chile.
Okay.
And from a lot of other places. So
Hola.
Thanks for connecting with us. Hola. Okay, here's our email address and our website again. And stay tuned. There's more coming. And have a lovely evening, everybody.
Okay, goodbye. And thank you for your time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.